Jagrada, Jam Masters. So it's Mother's Day. I'm going to talk about a very deep and interesting topic. The difference between sympathy and compassion. All of spirituality, very deep spirituality, is included in that difference. What is sympathy? The core of sympathy is I know what you're going through. I am experiencing it. I can relate to it. I have sympathy. I'm not ignoring you. I'm not belittling you. I'm associating with you. I can relate to what you're going through. I have sympathy. Compassion is way deeper. Compassion is, I have gone through what you've gone through, and I am beyond it. I see that there is a place inside of me and you that is beyond sympathy, that is beyond suffering, that is beyond what you're going through. I've seen past that. Doesn't mean I'm better than you, but I've gone through that. When you've grown up, they've gone through more than a child has. Imagine you're a parent and you got a teenage daughter or son going through their first breakup or first heartbreak. It's cute. Okay? You can have sympathy if you want. Maybe if you just got divorced, you got your problems. But basically, in general, you think it's adorable. It's just so beautiful. In other words, what you're saying is, yes, that is part of life. And someday you will understand that. You will be okay with that. And you will go through what you need to go through. But you won't suffer. Compassion is you are past suffering. At least in that area, you've gone past suffering. But somebody else is suffering. So compassion is way deeper than sympathy. Sympathy is you're there with them. You're relating to it. Compassion is there is a way past this. Yes, you went through what you went through. You're going through what you need to go through. But you do not need to be suffering. I have compassion for understanding what you're going through, but I can help you go past that. So compassion is a very spiritual state. Sympathy is a psychological state. Your psyches are relating. Compassion has to do with the fact that I know you're in there and you're deeper than what you're going through. And I can appreciate that and I have compassion for that. Let's go. Give me your hand. Not let's hold hands and cry together. Not that there's anything wrong with that. We're all at different levels. And sympathy is way greater than not being able to sympathize with somebody, not being able to relate. But when you get evolved enough, you'll understand there is no need for suffering. There's no need for suffering. There's no need for suffering. There are things that go on in this world, in your life, inside of you, forget the world, that are difficult, and they hurt, and they're painful, and they're just difficult situations. They're uncomfortable. That has nothing to do with you. Nothing. You are the consciousness, the soul, the essence, the Atman. You are the consciousness that is aware that this is going on inside of you. You do not suffer. You will never suffer. You have never suffered. There's not a chance in the world. You are awareness. It's like a light shines on an object. Perhaps the object is beautiful and it illumines a beautiful object. Perhaps the object is not beautiful and it's in real trouble and it's turmoil and so on. The light has not changed. It's the exact same light that's shining at both of those objects. In one case, it's illuminating beauty. In the other case, it's illuminating disturbance and turmoil. It's not that you don't understand that difference. It's that you're not involved in that difference. You have transcended. You have gone beyond. Transcendent means I'm not lost in the turmoil that is going on inside of me. I'm not even lost in the joy that's going on inside of me. I am transcendent. I am the self. I am the consciousness that is aware that this is going on. From that place, Buddha said the highest emotion is compassion. That's why. Because he went to the highest place. And when you come back, you look and you see the suffering. That's what he did. He told you the cause of suffering. He didn't say you have to suffer. Buddha did not say you have to suffer. That's why he's the depth of compassion. The Buddhist teachings are the depth of compassion. Because they don't say, I feel sorry for your suffering. They don't say, I feel sympathy for your suffering. They say, I have seen the cause of all suffering, and you don't have to suffer. Whoa, that's kind of nice. That's nice. You mean I don't need to manipulate the world to make it so it behaves the way I need it to so I don't suffer? No, you don't. You need to transcend the state you're sitting in. The more I grow, I'm in awe of the Buddhist teachings, the real Buddhist teachings. The teachings are very simple. Buddha came back and said, everyone's suffering. Rich people are suffering, poor people are suffering, healthy people are suffering, not healthy people are suffering. Everybody's suffering. Get it straight. You can be perfectly healthy and worry that someday you won't be. You can be really young and vital and be afraid of getting old. Everybody's suffering. Everybody's suffering. You're married, you're perfectly happy with your marriage, you have a wonderful relationship, and your friends tell you they broke up, they got divorced. You start worrying about your relationship. Why? You're going to suffer if you don't transcend yourself. And so Buddha came back with compassion, though it doesn't seem like it to regular people, and said, I've figured out the cause of all suffering. There's one cause of all suffering. How can there be one cause of all suffering? Because there's one cause of all suffering. What? Desire. That's the second noble truth. The cause of suffering is preference. I like the word preference better, because desire to the Western world means lust and greed. That's it. No. It's way deeper than that. How about we use the word preference? Whoa, we all have preferences. That's why you suffer. No, there's nothing wrong. I didn't say there was anything wrong with preferences. I'm just representing the Buddha for a moment. And you better not try to get with the Buddha, because he's deep stuff. He gone bye-bye and came back and saw the truth. What was the truth? You suffer because you have preferences. I know this is so hard to listen to, right? How about we do the opposite? If you do not have preferences, you will not suffer. What do you mean? My husband left me. If you don't care, it doesn't cause any trouble. Do you understand that? Literally, he's being literal. If you are okay inside yourself at the level he was, where you're in nirvana, you're just completely filled with joy because that's what you found inside yourself, you don't suffer because you don't have preferences. Let's take a nicer one. I really didn't do the husband one. I didn't want to do that. Here's a nicer one. It's my birthday, and I make a big deal out of my birthday. And basically, I'm having a party outside filled with sports. I've rented all these people that come in with slides and all these things. This is so wonderful. I'm so excited. And it's pouring rain in the morning. You suffer. You suffer because it's raining? Yes, you suffer because it's raining. Why? Because you have a preference. If you did not have the preference, if you sat there and planned the whole party and all that, and you couldn't care less if anybody came, and you couldn't care less if it's pouring rain, so you'll go inside and do something else, you will not suffer. I'm sorry, I'm pushing this thing. It's hard to push this thing to the Western mind, because the Western mind is all about preferences. It's all about preferences and how to get them taken care of. What do you want to happen? What do you not want to happen? How do you make it happen? How do you keep it from happening? That is what the mind is about. Not just the Western mind, the non-enlightened mind. So basically, you understand that when Buddha taught, which is terrible, it's terrible. We don't, where's his sympathy? Where's your sympathy? Right? Of course I have preferences. And it didn't happen. I wanted to get an A and I got a B. You have preferences. The person in front of me, I'm in a rush. I need to go see somebody. It's important. And they're driving so slow. And I can't pass them. There's cars coming the other way. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. Come on. Look, there's a street sign. It says 50, you're going 30. Come on. You suffer. That is suffering. Why are you suffering? Because you have a preference. It's hard to push this because it's inconceivable to the normal mind to not have preferences. We don't know anything about it. We have no role models. They've taught us to have preferences. Every advertisement that ever went across your TV is about preferences. You should have preferences and how to get them. And then you go to school and figure out how to be good at getting your preferences. And you go to a therapist and they talk about what are your preferences and how can we get those. You go to a life coach. Life coaches, what do they teach you? How to be strong, get your preferences. See how inundated we are with preferences, aren't we? Completely inundated with preferences. Now understand, there's nothing wrong. Nobody's saying they're wrong. They just cause suffering. Do you understand the core of how deep Buddha was? The cause of all suffering is preference. The third Zen patriarch, in that beautiful treatise he wrote, Ramdas used to hand them out back in the 70s, little pamphlet, a treatise on faith mind by the third Zen patriarch. And it started with one line, and that's the only line you need to know anything about spirituality in your entire life. If you're really interested in spirituality, the great way is not difficult for those who have no preferences. Whoa. There's Buddhist teachings, isn't it? All of life is suffering, first noble truth. Second noble truth, the cause of all suffering is desire, preferences. Third noble truth, to end suffering, end desire. Fourth noble truth, how to do it. It's that simple. The great way is not difficult for those who have no preferences. Now, believe it or not, this is a Mother's Day talk. Why? Because it's not about sympathy, it's about compassion. Buddha said the highest emotion was compassion, not love, compassion. Because when you sit in a state where you are no longer suffering, and you will never suffer ever again, and you know it, you look out with compassion. You look out with an understanding that people are causing their own suffering. Period. You say, but I'm getting old. I'm not as attractive as I used to be. Do I need to have a facelift? Nothing wrong. I'm not judging. What do I need to do because it's not the way I want it to be? You can do anything you want to be. You're going to suffer. It's never going to come out exactly the way you want to. Go have the nose job, have this, have a liposuction, whatever it's called. And because your consciousness has a preference, you're going to look at it and say, oh, it didn't hold. It's not turning out exactly like I wanted it to be. Or now I'm dating somebody who doesn't like that. They like a different kind of people. And it's like, you're going to suffer. You're going to suffer. If you have a preference, you're going to suffer. Because there is no such thing as I have a preference and now it's taken care of. It's never taken care of. You just laid something on top of it. I want a new house. I want to attract to myself a new house. The question is not how to get the new house, is why do you want a new house? I'm telling you, there's a Mother's Day talk. I'm going to talk you out of suffering. I'm being compassionate. Why do you want a new house? I don't feel good about myself and having a new house, but I feel better. The neighbors, their houses are nicer than mine. They look at me weird. I think they do anyways. And I want to project success. Why do I want to project success? So that I can attract to myself what I want. In other words, there's always a motive behind a preference. It's not a preference. It's attempting to lay on top of a problem. You're compensating for a problem you have, and so you come up with a preference. That's the only reason you have a preference, is because something's lacking inside, and you feel if I get this, I'll feel better. My question is, why don't you feel good? It's a thing I talk about in the book. You ate stuff and made you sick. Now you can't find the Pepto-Bismol or the Alka-Seltzer. And you're looking for it and so on. And somebody comes in and says, what's wrong? What's wrong? I can't find the Alka-Seltzer or the Pepto-Bismol. That's not what's wrong. What's wrong is you have a stomach ache. Why do you have a stomach ache? Because you ate junk. So you come back. Buddhists talk about working at the root. And the Buddha worked at the ultimate root. The cause of every single problem you have, every suffering you ever will have, do have, or did have, is because you had a preference. Like I said, I know the human mind. It's inconceivable to imagine not having preferences. Why? Because you're not okay inside. Sit with that for a second. You're not okay inside. I want to meet somebody. I want to meet my soulmate. This is still a Mother's Day talk. Careful. I want to meet my soulmate. Why? Because I'm lonely. Because I don't feel whole. You have it, a little silver dollar cut in pieces, and 2 pieces fit perfect, right? In other words, I'm half, and he or she is half. Well, I'm really sorry that you're half, man. I was like, why are you half? Who made you half? You're a whole being. And if you're a whole being, it's a whole different experience. I used to teach people come in the old days to talk about soulmates, right? You do have a soulmate. You're it. You are your soulmate. Your inner being is complete and whole within itself. It needs nothing. You're the most beautiful thing that ever walked the face of the earth. It's just basically your being, your true being, your consciousness, the indwelling being is whole. It's complete. It has no needs. It will never have any needs. It's a pure wave of light pouring down into you. That's who you are. Now we talk about compassion. What if you know that that's who everybody is and they're suffering? You feel compassion. That's the difference, sympathy and compassion. You understand you don't need to suffer. You don't need anything. You need to understand how you made yourself half when you're whole. How you made a shadow fall over you when there's nothing but sunlight inside. There's nothing but beauty, love, ecstasy, nirvana. That is who you are. It's not something you find. It's something you are, period. That's what Buddha found. That's what Christ told you. The kingdom is within you. So everything is trying to teach, every great being is trying to teach you the same thing, which is you are a great being. But you're not saying, how do I find my greatness? You're saying, how do I compensate for my lacking? That's a whole different thing. And that, everyone's busy compensating for the lacking, either getting it and everyone's jealous, or either not getting it and everyone has sympathy. I know where you're at. I've been there. I'm there right now. It's like, God, let's start a blog. I'm going to start a blog. Every little way you can suffer, there's a blog out there. I guarantee you right now, they're just getting together and talking about who has the worst suffering because of this situation. You had your husband leave me? So far I have 6 husbands who left me. Well, no wonder. What were you trying to get from those 6? Well, I'm lonely and I don't feel worthy of love. And I just down on myself. So I need to find somebody that will fix that. Are you kidding me? You're going to inside ruin yourself, and then someone's going to magically come from the outside? They're not even in there with you. How can they do they can't offset what you're doing, right? You're beautiful. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Okay? Well, maybe if just the right person who won Beautiful Person of the Year on Time Magazine and Forbes and everything, came here and for 16 hours a day told me, you're beautiful, you're beautiful. I know, you're beautiful. Maybe for a moment I'll feel better, but then the minute I stopped talking, I knew I was, even they left me. Who wants to tell me I'll tell the truth? Okay, while you are doing that inside of yourself, you are making yourself less than whole. Is there a cloud over your light? Yes, there's a cloud over your light. I just described it to you. Your psyche, what you are doing in there with your mind, is unbelievable. No, I do affirmations. I do positive thinking. Why? Why would you need to do positive thinking? Because underneath the positive thinking is a need to do positive thinking. There's some negative stuff going on in there. And so I try to lay on top of it positive thinking. That's good. I use it. We all need to use positive thinking sometimes, right? How about we get rid of the negative? Why don't you ask, why is there so much negativity in here? Why do I have to do positive thinking? Why isn't there just positive in there anyways? Why is it not just filled with light and joy? That's the real question. Is what have I done in here that has caused this problem, that there's so much turmoil and anxiety, so that I need to meditate and I need to do positive thinking and I need to do mantra and I'm very busy doing what? Overcoming the mess I made inside myself. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? There is nothing but beauty inside of you. Your natural state is self-effulgent. You're the most beautiful thing that ever walked the face of the earth. How about I use it from the Bible? Man and woman were created in the image of God. What does that mean? It means complete brilliance and effulgence and light and joy and love for all infinity and eternity are going on inside of you. Man is created in the image of God, period. Christ, that which I am, so also are you. And as I sit by the side of my Father, so you sit by my side. My Father and I are one. Someone's trying to tell you, but you ain't listening. You think the new house will do it, a new relationship will do it, or more money will do it, or getting a makeover, so you be more attractive to people, and so on and so forth. Or get some more alphabets at the end of your name. You think that's going to do it. Why do you need these things? Why do you have those preferences? Because I'm not okay. I'm not okay. That's really beautiful. Then instead of praying for the house or praying for the boyfriend or girlfriend or praying for more money, why don't you pray to be okay? Why can't I feel the wholeness that Christ and Buddha and everybody told me I was? Then you're getting to the core, to the root. Why don't I then? Why don't I? Now we're getting down to real compassion. Is there a reason that I don't feel that wholeness? Why don't I naturally feel the joy, the beauty, the love, the compassion, the clarity that spiritual teachers tell me I am capable of. Why don't I? And there's only one reason, and it's very straightforward. It is because of something you're doing inside yourself. It's not because of anything that's lacking outside of you. It's not because of anybody who did anything wrong in your past. It's not because you were abused as a child. It's not because your first husband left you. And no, that is not the reason that you have these issues inside yourself. It is something you're doing that is causing it to be that way. Now, that may challenge you. Some people don't like that. You get up and walk out. How dare you say it's my fault? It's not a fault. It's just a reality. And you should want it to be that way. Because if you did it, you can stop doing it. You're not going to stop the abuse that happened to you as a child. You're not going to stop the fact that you got in a relationship with somebody that turned out to be an idiot and hurt you. And that's not going to undo. You're not going to stop that. But if it's true that you're causing your own suffering, that you're causing the cloud to throw its shadow over your greatness, you should rejoice in that. You should not be challenged by that. What is true is that you didn't handle these situations. Of course they were difficult. There we go, sympathy. I'm going to keep showing you sympathy, compassion. But you don't understand how bad it was. Yeah, I do. We all have gone through all kinds of things. But no, don't do that. That's reinforcing the fact that you're not okay because of something that happened in the past. That's sympathy. Oh, yeah, me too. I have things. But compassion says, yes, it happened in the past, but it's over. It's over. Anything that happened to you in the past, if it's still happening, that's a different discussion. We could talk about that. We'll call the police. We'll get people. I want to help you if it's still happening. I want to talk about what's not still happening because that's most of your stuff. You collected inside yourself things that are not happening anymore, and you feel sorry for yourself. Why would you feel sorry for yourself for something that's not happening? You should rejoice. I rejoice. I was abused as a child, and now I'm not a child anymore, and I'm not being abused. And the people that abused me, they died a long time ago. I didn't kill them. They died. It just, life moves on. Hooray! Hooray! I don't have to deal with it anymore. Is that how your attitude is? No way. Your attitude is no. It's just as if it's happening right now. I can remember it. I feel it all the time. It bothers me all the time. I can't sleep at night. I have nightmares. You're doing that. You didn't do the original act. But if it ain't happening anymore, and it's still going inside of you, you need to learn to let it go. And that's your only problem, is you have not learned how to let it go. Your entire past is not happening anymore, but you're running around as if it is happening. You're letting it cause you to suffer. That's because nobody, no mother, compassionate mother, has sat here and said to you, you don't need to do that. No one has told you there is no super glue in there. There is nothing in there inside of you holding the past events inside of you except for you. You are literally using your will. That's the only way anything goes on in there, will. You are using your will to push it down. You're using will to avoid it. You're using will to not have anything hit it. You're using your will to try and be in situations that make you more comfortable. How about this? You are using your will to try and create and be in situations that make you more comfortable. Well, of course. No, not of course. Why are you uncomfortable? You're sitting on a planet Earth, spinning around in the middle of absolutely nowhere in space. I personally, I'm not pushing on you. I've thought about it a lot. You know me with the planet. And I've decided that the planet Earth is the Garden of Eden. Why would I say that? Because we put the Hubble telescope out there for years and it looked at everything it could. It never even found an amoeba. Forget a plant. Forget an animal. Where you live, every plant there is all over the place growing wild. If you go to a botanical garden, they took it from the earth. Orchids, birds of paradise, roses, they just are here, as are all the animals and all the fishes. It's quite a place. It's the Garden of Eden. It's an amazing place. It's amazing. All right? And answer me, Jupiter has it? Venus? Saturn? Mars? Poor little Pluto? Nobody's found anything that has anything. And you have everything. How can this not be the Garden of Eden? So you're here sitting on this planet, spinning around, causing yourself to suffer. Because it's something that happened 20 years ago that's not happening anymore. There, I just challenged you. I wish your therapist would talk to you like that. You'd fire them. Why? Because you're going in there to get sympathy. Why can't they talk to you like that? Why can't you just stop doing this to yourself? And I'm going to repeat it. If it happened 20 years ago and it's not happening anymore and it's still bothering you, you're doing that. There is nothing holding that inside of you. The mind is, you think air is thin? The mental plane is much thinner. It's way more etheric. Things come in and they pass through. They come in and they pass through. You think about them, you do whatever you want, but they come in and they pass through. If you don't want it to pass through, you have to hold it there. Do math in your mind. Go, multiply 3 times 6. You hold it in your mind. You can create things you hold in your mind. You have the power to hold things in your mind. You're a great being. Come on. You have that power. You have the power to create thoughts and hold them. You have the power that if experiences come in through your senses, you can hold on to them and contemplate them or study them as scientists or try to solve diseases. You can do all kinds of things, can't you? You're a great being and you have a great mind. And what did you decide to do? You decided to take every single experience that came in from the outside that didn't feel good, that bothered you, that disturbed you, and keep it in there. You're holding it. You're holding it. Why? 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 I'm challenging you to be greater than you let yourself be. There is no reason to have things in there that are not happening. So basically you start to question yourself. And then you're going to find out, why was this still in here? Ready? I know why. Because it hurt. Because it wasn't comfortable. And you couldn't handle that when it happened. I had to fight it, push it away. I had to protect myself from it. Is that not why? I had to protect myself from what happened. And so I pushed it away when it was coming in. I couldn't handle it. I'm not blaming you, your child, you this. We all have our things, all right? And you pushed it away. Because you pushed it away, it stayed in there. That's what you have to understand. There, I'm telling you, this is a Mother's Day talk. This is the right mother, that mother. If you had God as a mother, that's how mother would talk to you. The real honesty and depth. I love you. You're my child. I'm your mother. I don't want you suffering. I don't want you living like that. You're whole and complete and self-effulgent. There are no needs inside of you. There's physiological, basic needs. I'm talking about psychological issues, okay? And so basically you come down and you finally catch on that if I have problems with my past, it's because I didn't deal with my past properly. I did that. I don't blame myself. I wasn't capable. And now I am. If you can hear this talk, it's because you are now capable of hearing that you don't just push pain away. If you push disturbance and pain away, it stays inside of you. That's not how you deal with it. Okay, how do you deal with it? How do I do this? What's a better way to live? And that's called the spiritual path. And that is his eightfold path. And that is all the spiritual teachings. What? You are in there. That the ultimate gift that can be given to you is to understand that you are the consciousness. You are awareness. You would not know that it hurt if you were not aware. You're aware. You're aware that there's love when you're in the presence of this person. You're aware that there's discomfort when you're in the presence of that person. You are aware in there, aren't you? Otherwise, you wouldn't know what's happening. That awareness is who you are. You are the center of awareness. How do I know? Take anything you're aware of and take it away. You'll be aware it's gone. You'll be aware. Take your awareness away. No light bulb. Light bulb's off. Not what is the light bulb shining on. You can change that all day. It's still the same light bulb. Turn off the light bulb. Gone. Puts. All right? That's the core of your being, is your awareness. It's who you are. It's everything. Then it just becomes a question of, what am I aware of? That's what you should be asking. What am I aware of? And you're going to see you're aware of the world coming in. That's just the way it is. There's a gig going on outside of you all the time. It comes in, you're aware of it. You're also aware of the fact that you have thoughts inside. And you're aware that you have emotions emanating from your heart. They're fine. That's what it is. But it's the same awareness. The same awareness knows you feel love and knows that you got hurt. The exact same awareness. There's no difference. It's not hurt. It's noticing hurt. Hurt is a thing. Love is a thing. It's a thing. Can come and go. It's something you're aware of. Come back to the seat of awareness. That's all of spirituality. It's everything. Not so easy, but we'll talk about it. If you sit in the seat of awareness, it's called witness consciousness. Krishna already called it objective observation. They can go by any name you want. It is the core of your being. You can sit there, be there. It's not effort. That's where you are. You are in the seat of consciousness looking down at your thoughts, looking down at your emotions, looking down at the world that's coming in. That's where you are. You don't need to find yourself. You are yourself. That's got to be the silliest concept that I've ever read. Where are you going? I'm going to India to find myself. You are yourself. That's what you are. You are the one who's watching and saying, I'm going to India to find myself. I need to find a guru. You are the self. You are the self. Then why am I not realized? That's what realized means. Yogananda didn't use the word enlightenment. He used the word self-realization. You have realized the self. You realized yourself. You didn't find it. You realized, tag, you're it. So you're there always. Let's just finish the story now. Well, if I'm there, what's it like to be there? Satchidananda. Eternal conscious ecstasy. That is the nature of self. Anyone, any of these beings of any tradition who have found their way back into the seat of self instead of leaving, said the same thing. God is love, nirvana, ecstasy, joy, bliss, eternal. That's what you are. I think it's really neat in the yogic tradition, the Hindu tradition, that a name for God is Satchidananda, eternal conscious bliss. Guess what a name for the soul is? Satchidananda. Same. Why? Because man is created in the image of God. Right? They're the same thing. If you come back to that place, notice I didn't say find it, come back to it. You left it. How did you leave it? By projecting your consciousness onto the objects of consciousness. Please get that. I'm here. I'm filled with joy. But now I'm projecting my sense of self onto that picture, and it's upsetting me. No, come back to your seat of consciousness. That's what it is. That's your seat. All right, why am I not there? Why do I have all these problems? Why is it so hard to get there? What's all this stuff? Just take a breath. Because you stored in your mind everything that ever bothered you. Therefore, it's very potent. If I took your mind, and I don't know you, if I took your mind and put it inside of my mind, I couldn't care less about what happened. I didn't experience it. It's not part of me. You did experience it, and you stored it. So now you're distracted by it, aren't you? Constantly distracted by it. In your dreams, during the day, people say things. Your consciousness is pulled down into those very potent objects of consciousness, the ones that are most potent to you because you stored them. You literally made a house of horrors inside your own mind. You go into a house of horrors, you laugh. What if the house of horrors was literally everything that ever bothered you throughout your life? And that's what jumped out at you in the house of horrors. My God, you have a heart attack. Can you imagine? It would be a traumatic experience, wouldn't it? It'd be a traumatic experience. Not if the clown jumps out or woo, but if that thing that mommy did and that thing that the first boyfriend did and that thing that embarrassed you more than anything you never told anybody popped out of that thing, woo, that's what's going on inside your mind. Exactly that. And it pops out all the time, doesn't it? You stored a house of horrors inside your own mind. And of course, your consciousness is pulled down into it. Nothing that goes on outside makes any difference compared to that. In fact, the reason the outside matters is because it hits that. I can't believe you said that. My mother used to talk to me like that. Wow, house of horrors. So I'm trying to show you this is what's happened. So you start to understand that's why you are seated in the self. You can't be anywhere else. You are the seat of consciousness, but you are projecting your awareness onto these objects of consciousness. Nothing wrong with that, except that the ones you're projecting onto are the ones you stored because you couldn't handle them. And so now you freak out. You do that even with positive things. What do you mean? Isn't it terrible? You store positive things in there. It was so beautiful. We went on this vacation to Paris. It was just so amazing. There really is a city of love. I want to go back there, but I can't afford to. I'm so upset. You just took a positive experience and turned it into another melodrama. This is what you've done to your life. So that you wake up and you realize That's what's happening. I have stored inside of my mind, my precious, my sacred, brilliant mind, I've stored this garbage. All right? So that basically you understand what's going on. You are the most beautiful thing to walk the face of the earth. You're pure love. You're pure joy. You're pure giving. That's what you are. But you're not sitting there. You have projected your sense of self onto this mess you have built inside your mind by collecting everything that you couldn't handle. And so now it's a problem in there, isn't it? It's a problem. And that's why you have preferences. So that's why if the deep teachings talk about great ways not difficult for those that have no preferences, it doesn't mean you're supposed to get rid of your preferences. You're supposed to not have them. It's a big difference between having them and trying to get rid of them and not having them. Whoa, what do you mean not having them? If you come deep enough inside, you are whole and complete. There will be no preferences. You will not generate preferences. Preferences are about how to compensate for what's missing inside of me. That's why I like things different, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you're not married to it and buying into it and running your life off of it, there's going to be little things. But this concept that I develop preferences because I made a mess of myself and now I have to have things be a certain way to be okay, that's the problem. And so you start to do this thing called work on yourself instead of buying into the lie that I'll be okay if this happens. How many times have you said that throughout your life? How many times have you said in your life, I'll be okay if this happens or this doesn't happen? You know you've done it throughout your life. If this will happen, I'll be okay. All right. Are you okay? You may be better. I hope you're better. But okay means you're totally okay. You walk out into this world and it's like, wow, look, there's light and there's sun, there's a tree. And just everything turns me on, it blows me away. That's what the seat of self is like. Why am I not there? I'll close down here. Because you are distracted, your consciousness is distracted by this powerful, potent stuff that you stored inside yourself, the stuff you couldn't handle. What's the answer? Let go. You know that word's going to come up in my talk. Let go. Let go. It's going to come up by itself. You don't have to find it. It will come up every day. It will periodically, your stuff's going to come up, isn't it? Someone will say something, you'll see something, you'll think something, come up, let it go. If you want out, if you want to reach the great state of your being, you have to let go of this stuff that you stored inside. But, Nami, it hurts when it comes up. Yes, it does. It was stored with pain. It's going to come back with pain. You're the one who stored the pain in there. You couldn't handle it when it happened, so you pushed it away. Take a piece of plywood and hold it against the wind because you don't like the wind blowing across your face. It's too strong a wind. See what that's like to hold that plywood up there for the rest of your life. But I'm tired. I'll bet you are. My arms hurt. I'll bet they do. That's what you've done with this stuff. You've pushed it away. Let it go. How? Now we're down to the techniques they teach you. Mantra, meditation, positive thinking, affirmation. There's all these things that you can do to help it let go, to help it let go. But please let it go. You don't want to carry the stuff inside of you. It's that simple. And guess what? Only you can let it go. Don't you dare think that somebody outside of you can love you enough to make your stuff go away. It's not true. It doesn't happen that way. You're the only one in there. You're the one who held it in there. You're the one who insists that everything be a certain way for you to think that somebody will take care of you. No. Don't compensate for it. Let it go. There. That's a Mother's Day talk. Isn't it? I'm looking you right in the eyes. Don't keep compensating for this stuff you stored inside that is a problem. Let it go. That's how you have a beautiful life. That's how you get filled with love. Then what happens? What happens is you literally get filled with love. You just wave your hand across your heart. Bliss will come pouring out of your heart every single time you do it. Okay? That's where you're supposed to be. That is your natural state. But you're blocked by this stuff I talked to you about. Let it go. How? That's your business. You manage to look attractive, so you're going to attract people. You manage to do all kinds of things, don't you? Learn to do this. When? Every moment of your life. Every second of your life. If it starts to come up, welcome it. Are you willing to let go? Because if you are, you're going to reach these high states. Because that's who you are. Then what? Then you will share it with everybody. Isn't it so beautiful? The Bible turns out to be the truth. It says you don't light a lantern and put it under a bed. You put it on the windowsill for all to see. That's what happens inside of you. You don't go off in a cave and meditate all the time. You're filled with joy and love, and you give it to everybody. It just pours out of you. You don't have to do a single thing. And all of a sudden, now you can give. Why? You don't need anything. It just pours off of you. Every relationship you're in, everything you do has nothing to do with you. It's just, how can I help? How can I give? All right. And so basically, work on yourself. Work on yourself, and then you'll become a compassionate being, and you'll raise the whole world. Jagrata.